for your time.
No problem.
Sorry. Okay. We are from the University Dianapura. Would like to interview about the cross-culture communication, and can we have your time to talk about that?
Yes.
So actually here we have the some question. So maybe you would like to help me to talk about that.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first is I will ask you about how do you think about the cross-cultural communication?
I think people try very hard. Sometimes get misunderstandings or miscommunication when there are people from different countries.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think about that? So
Yeah.
look the misunderstanding because they come from another culture.
Yeah, they speak different languages or they come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The second one is how can cross-cultural misunderstanding arise?
I think when people don't speak English or the same language, they get misunderstandings or they want other things.
So do you think like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So the next bill. Okay.
Friends.
Okay.
The question number 3 is how would the Westerners and Easterners commonly begin the conversation?
I think most people just say hello. I think that's the same for people in Asia, people in Europe. They all say hello, how are you? And everybody understands.
The universal.
So they say hello for conversation.
Yes.
The next question is, in your culture, what question are considered unexpectable for conversation?
I think when unrespectable, you mean?
Yeah.
I think when people go ask a lot of questions, like how are you doing, what do you want, do you need this, I think that's considered rude in like European countries.
I think it's same, yeah. It's almost same with Indonesian.
Yeah.
What are you non-verbal communication that you think universal?
What I think that is universal between I think yes, so like hello or just like small talk.
Yes.
How are you doing? That is okay, and that is universal. Yes.
Next question. Number 7.
6.
Number 7.
Yeah.
How many days per week do people in your country work, and how much time do they spend on leisure activities?
I think most people in my country work 5 days a week. Yes, and so two days is weekend, 5 days is work. Yeah.
So they just work in 5 days.
Yes.
So they have the off day in
Weekend?
2 days.
Yeah. 2 days off. Yes, weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, it's
is
off there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes people work 4.
Oh, sometimes. Oh.
Yes, when they they work in hospital or they work like a hard working job, they maybe work 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's already all of them is like that. Oh.
Yeah. And people in office they work 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's really different with the in Indonesia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a different get.
Yeah.
The next.
Nomor 7 ya?
8.
My question, how did your parents raise you? And did you have separated room from your parents? And what value can you see from it?
I think my parents, how they raised me, I think they had some rules, but it's maybe different than here in Indonesia.
Yeah.
But I think we had I think we have more rules than here in Indonesia, but maybe that's not. Maybe that's what I think. I don't know if that's right.
Can you give me one example of that?
Maybe had to be home around a certain time, or had to do my homework before I could do anything fun. something like that.
Oh, like that. It's almost same. Almost, yeah. It's not really the same, but it's almost.
Yang belum 7 ya?
Enggak, udah 7. Yang udah tadi buat selalu target sama buat non verbal. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Aku lanjut 9 aja. Sorry, Iki, sini next question. Please give us example of stereotype that you have found about your culture.
Oh, about my culture?
Yes.
I think people always think we're very tall because I'm Dutch. They always think we're very tall. I think maybe that's true, so it's not a very stereotype. I think people think we're very direct, but I don't know if that's just other European countries think that we are very direct, or the whole world thinks that we're very direct.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Asfer Nasir Adrian. I'm from Singapore and I'm 16 years old.
Oh, 16 years old, and may I ask you about the
Yeah,
culture
okay.
communication?
Sure.
Here I have some question. Can you help to us to answer the question?
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So the first question is. The first question is, what do you think about cross-cultural communications?
I think cross-cultural communication is very important when it comes to bringing together the divide among different cultures. So it's important to learn how to connect with one another, so as to bring about a sense of equality with one another.
Yeah, so that you
Yes.
think about that, yeah.
Yes.
So, and the question number 2 is, how can cross-cultural misunderstanding arise?
Cross-culture misunderstanding can arise from the difference in lifestyles between different cultures. For example, let's say I'm a Singaporean, we have a high standard of living, and let's say people of different culture come to Singapore and they don't know how our lifestyle is lived, and there might arise some conflicts between one another.
Yeah. Did you find also like the big difference when you talk to each other, become to another culture?
Yes. There might be also a language barrier, so there might also be different forms of misunderstanding, which can also lead to conflict.
Oh, yep.
Yes.
So how would the Westerner and Easterner calmly begin the conversation?
I feel like establishing a common ground is one way they can engage in conversation, as I feel like that is the easiest way to engage in conversation. So, yeah, honestly, I also don't know. It really depends on the person and the culture themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, it really depends on that. There's a lot of factors which can come into play. So, yeah, that's about it.
Just that one. Next question.
So the next question is, in your culture, what questions are considered unexpectable for conversation?
What question would be considered as unrespectable? What
Maybe from Indonesia, it's like say hi, how are you?
unrespectable, right?
Oh, yeah, it's
I'm not really sure, because I feel like living in 2024, there's not really. We are all very more open-minded nowadays.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I feel like there's not really unrespectable, I guess. It just really depends on the person itself.
So did you think it depends to person?
Yeah. Because normally nowadays everyone is quite friendly. Because everyone is very open-minded. So I feel like, yeah, lor.
Next question. What shall a foreigner learn about non-verbal communication in your country before going there?
Well, I cannot hear. My bad.
What shall a foreigner learn about non-verbal communication in your country before going there?
Apa ya? I'm not really sure also. Can you repeat the question? This is a very confusing question.
What should the foreigner learn about non-verbal communication in your country before you're going there? So,
Non-verbal communication.
apa turis dari mancanegara
Ya.
lain yang harus mereka pelajari sebelum mereka ke negara kamu?
I'm not really sure. I feel like you should just like
Maybe it's culture.
Yeah, I mean maybe go on social media. I guess that's like the best, how to say, source that you can see to learn what you can not to do and what to do when you're in another country. Like, let's say from Indonesia, don't come Singapore, right? I feel like you should, scroll on TikTok a bit on Singapore.
Yep.
And then you see like how our culture is, because Singapore is quite strict on rules. For example, like no bubble gum or all these things lah. So like to prevent getting into any trouble, I feel like just go on social media.
Just go.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing you can do. Yeah.
Next question. What are your non-verbal communication that you teach universal?
Non-verbal communication, I feel like sign language, right? Sign language is universal, but I think nowadays it's quite difficult for you to learn sign language also. But I think it's a universal language. It's just very difficult to learn and understand.
Did you
So-
think it's important?
Yeah, it's quite important because it also bridges the class between people who can speak and people who cannot speak.
Yes.
Yeah, so like, but I feel like it's a very difficult language to understand also. So it might take some time, but eventually I feel like we get there. Yes.
And the next question, how many days per week do people your country work? How much time do they spend on leisure activities?
So can you repeat the question one more time?
How many days per week do people in your country work? And how much time do they spend on leisure activities?
Okay, so I feel like the answer for this is very obvious. People in Singapore, they have this thing called the rat race, where the only thing they want to do is succeed in life. So like they rarely spend time on leisure, and like sometimes they work 6 days per week. Yeah, sometimes cause like the Singaporean mindset is all about money. Yeah, so like they feel like there's no need to spend time on leisure. It's just work until you die. It's this sort of mindset. So yeah, that's how it is.
So the most of them they work on the 6 days. Yeah.
I feel like like sometimes they voluntarily work on the weekends. Yeah.
Depends on person, right?
Yeah, but most of it, everyone just wants to work and get money.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's very bad.
I have next question. How did your parents raise you? Did you have separated room from your parents, and what value can you see from it? How did your parents raise you? Did you have separated room from your parents, and what value can you see from it?
Okay, so growing up, I actually had my own room. Yeah, but from ages like up until I was 11, I think I wanted to see my parents. But then now I have my own room, and I feel like it is very important, as it gives me a sense of, how to say, privacy, and it gives me a sense of self-identity. So like when I come home, I feel comfortable in my room. So I feel like it's very important to have your own room, because it also creates a self boundaries also. Yeah, so that's about it.
Last question.
Okay.
Okay. Please give me example of story type that you found have your culture.
What? Sorry.
And I repeat again, yeah. Please give example of story type that you have found about your culture.
A story that
Sorry.
that I found about my culture. A story about my culture. What kind of I have no idea.
Maybe in Bali, I give you example.
Yeah,
Bali,
okay.
They always make a ceremony, and in the morning, if you say on the street, you have see like canang.
Oh, okay. So like a common practice that you practice
Yes,
in a
yes.
country, a story of a. Let me think. Cause I barely do anything in Singapore. I just study every day. What
What else?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like sometimes every few weeks, like people of different races, in Malay, Indian, Chinese, all races. Because in Singapore we are somewhat multiracial society, right? So all the races all come together. Sometimes we like to. There's this thing called a community center,
Community center.
where people come to mix around socially and then also spend time together and then engage in different activities. For example, there's Zumba classes.
Zumba, yeah.
Yeah, Zumba. Yeah. So sometimes, like all these old women of different ages and different races, they come together and they spend time at community centers. Yeah. So I feel like most common practice is that people of different races just come together and spend time.
Okay.
Yeah. To show how united our country is.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have another question also. What did you think? What you found it when you came from your country and you
Yeah.
come to Indonesia?
Yeah.
What the big culture shock you?
Big
got it?
culture shock.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really any cause I'm Indonesian, right? So I also grew up in the Indonesian, so like there's not really any culture shocks. It's just that I feel like the rules here are more relaxed, like I see teenagers riding motorcycles, yeah, riding cars. In Singapore, you ride motorcycle one time, you cannot really, you go straight to jail.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I feel like it's less strict here, more freedom here.
Yes.
Yeah, compared to Singapore. So yeah,
And maybe traffic, yeah. In Singapore, maybe you never found it.
yeah, I feel like and just how to say it, it's more. The government is like very more in control in Singapore. Like there's government everywhere.
Yes.
You really can't do anything because it's a small country, right? Yeah. So Indonesia is more freedom. There's less authorities walking around. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's about it, lah.
Okay. So that's just about that.
Yeah, that's
Thank
about
you so
it.
much for your
No problem, no
time.
problem, no
Thank you for
problem, no
helping
problem, no
us.
problem.
Okay. Are you holiday in Bali?
Yeah, I'm on vacation right now.
Vacation.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my exam results to come out. Yeah.
You study also, yeah?
Yeah,
High school?
I'm still studying. Yes.
Homeschool or?
No.
No.
Public school.
Public school.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thanks for all.
Thank you.
and enjoy your holiday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.